Hi everyone, Lucy here, and today I'm going to bring you guys a video which is going to be talking about 2016 games which you should be hyped for. I do these pretty much every year, and obviously because it is my opinion on which games you should be hyped for, most of the games I'm going to be talking about today are going to be survival games. If you do watch a decent amount of videos on my channel, which I'm guessing if you're watching this video you've subscribed to me, so you probably do, then you'll know that that's what I like and that's what you guys like. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Some of the games I'm going to be talking about you might have heard of before, some of them you might not have, but either way I'm going to be talking briefly on each of the games which I've got on my beautiful list, and also talking about release dates and all of that wonderful kind of stuff. Without further ado, let's get on to the first one. So the first game I've got on this list is Tom Clancy's The Division. You probably know about this game already, but you might not know that it's actually coming out pretty soon. There's going to be a closed beta, which is going to be on Xbox One in December of 2015, and then the actual release for this game is March 8th, 2016. So you can expect some gameplay of this game on my channel kind of soon, in the next month, because I do have an Xbox One. It's going to be the only reason I take it out of a little closet. But this game is, although it's not, I don't know, focused entirely on open world survival, it's got a PvE element and a PvP element in an area called the Dark Zone. It does have, you know, PvP in it, and that's why I'm excited for it. Since I do these lists pretty much every year, a lot of the games I talk about do end up being shit, so keep in mind there's a decent chance all of these could not turn out as they are expected to turn out, but I don't know, it's an Ubisoft game, it looks amazing as you'll see from the footage, and whether or not, you know, the survival part and the PvP part is going to be big in the game, I feel like there'll still be some really compelling things to make you go back to the game over and over again. I mean, just the graphics by itself are pretty exciting. I've never seen a game look this good, and especially since the footage was recorded on an Xbox apparently, I've got to wonder what the PC looks like. I mean, it can't really look that much better, but still, this is definitely one to look out for, and we'll see what it turns out to be like. I am also excited for Rainbow Six Siege, which is coming out later this year. That's an Ubisoft title too, but it doesn't count, okay? The second game on my list, a lot more of you wouldn't have heard of before, but it is still, well, it's a survival game at its core, which is a big difference between this and the last game, Tom Clancy's The Division. This is Hide and Hold Out H2O. I've actually recorded this game on my channel before, but until it's actually out, it's kind of hard to see how good it's going to be. But from the experiences I had playing with Partially Royal on it, on a kind of unpopulated server, it seems like the game's got quite a lot of stuff in it already, and it's all about a massive open world focusing on underwater exploration and finding all of this loot, which you can then bring to land and build bases, massive battleships, and loads of really cool shit out of that stuff. Imagine a game similar to Stranded Deep, but with a complete focus on multiplayer. So, although there wasn't in the gameplay which I played a while ago, there will be sharks and loads of beasts in the waters. In the future gameplay, you've got the oil platforms all around the map, which is going to be what's going to be fueling all of the things which you need for the bases. So that's where all the PvP is going to come from. And as a whole, it reminds me a lot of Ark, just because it has a lot of stuff in it without being released. They could definitely push it to Steam right now and say, give me $5 and it's yours. But I feel like these developers are actually doing it the right way and making something which is really playable, really stable, and has a decent amount of features before it does end up coming out to public play. I don't know when this is going to be coming out, but I do know it's going to be sometime in 2016, so that's pretty much that. Definitely one to look out for, and we'll see how it turns out along with the rest of these games in this list. I mean, there's going to be at least 50% of these games which end up being pretty shit, but still one to be hyped for considering the gameplay I've played so far. I don't think it is going to be one of those games which is shit. Next up is Hurtworld. The gameplay footage you'll be seeing is from a decent while ago, and if you do check out that website, they do have a lot more development that's happened since I made my videos on this game. But again, it's got a really cool art style. It just seemed like it had a decent amount of features when I played it, and it's one to just look out for and follow as a competitor to a lot of other survival titles. It does a decent amount of innovative things, or else I wouldn't have it on this list. You'd have to look at the website to check out those beautiful features, but it does seem just like, I don't know, I guess Rust with more of a stylized theme, more varying biomes, vehicles and vehicle customization, and a bunch of other really cool things. So this is one to follow. We'll see how it turns out. Again, it's some point in 2016, but I've got no idea when. War of Rights is a game which just a few days ago had a Kickstarter finish up, and they managed to get enough pledges to reach their goal. This game is going to be coming out sometime in November 2016-ish, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up being pushed back considering how Kickstarter games end up just kind of doing that. But if you haven't seen the game already, it's essentially Mountain Blade, but with better graphics. That sounds good. No, it's not really just that. This definitely isn't a survival title, but still I thought I'd include it in this list because, you know, you have to survive in the game, and if you're dead, then you suck, so it's totally a survival title. But yeah, there's just no game that is like this, which is really done in a really, really good way. Mountain Blade's good and everything, but I feel like a game which is completely focused on this style of infantry could do something really, really special, and I don't think this is going to be one of those ones which again sucks. I mean, it is a Kickstarter game with a development studio which I haven't really heard of before, so I guess it could in theory end up sucking, but the gameplay we've got so far shows very promising, very big scale fighting, so looks good. Next up is a game which honestly I didn't actually find out about until right now, but I thought I'd include it in a list because why the hell not? I did include a Walking Dead title in a list I did like 2 years ago, and that Walking Dead ended up being, I don't know, everyone hated it, but I kind of liked it. I can't remember what it was called, but I think it was just called The Walking Dead, the game or some shit, but whatever. This one is Overkill's For Walking Dead. If you don't know Overkill, they made Payday 2, and this game is described as a co-op first-person shooter. I don't want to talk about it for too long, but apparently it's got RPG elements, role-playing, an open world, blah blah blah, all of these wonderful things, but the thing is the gameplay in the background is literally 30 seconds long, and then there's not really anything else you can find on the net full stop. I do know it's also going to be focusing a lot on VR experience, so I guess that's interesting and different, but I don't know, we'll see how it turns out. All I know is it's coming out of a studio which has money. Payday 2 recently had some controversies, so that's probably not good, but still, we'll see what happens with this one. This game again is being developed by a development studio with a past. I mean, I say that, but it's actually been developed by an unnamed studio for some reason. I don't know why it says on the Wikipedia page, but yeah, I don't know who the fuck it's being developed by, but the publishers are Deep Silver, and they've got money, so obviously the people who have put the development of this game into the hands of have got to know what they're doing, and judging by the gameplay that's came out for the game so far, there's been gameplay coming out of this for the past year or so. It looks pretty decent. It's got 8-player co-op, obviously a massive, or pretty decently big open world set in California, a bunch of different places, and I don't know, there's a ton of gameplay. It looks fun. It's got zombies. I like Dead Island 1, I like Dead Island Riptide, and this is one definitely to look out for as well. I've actually had a decent amount of AAA titles in this list, which means they will definitely not be shit. So I think maybe we'll make like a record of the amount of games which aren't shit in this list. It'll be interesting to see what happens in a year from now. But yeah, if you did forget about this one, don't forget about it. I'm going to play it. If you don't know who Deep Silver are, they've published a lot of games from Techland. Originally, the first Dying Light was made by... Oh, sorry, not the first Dying Light. The first Dead Island was made by Techland, and they also made Dying Light. So I'm actually confused as to why they're not making Dead Island 2. I thought they were, to be honest, but they're not. So, yeah, don't know what the fuck's going on there, but either way, looks good, and that's that. And I brought up Techland right there for a very good reason. The final game on this list is Hellraid, which is essentially Dying Light / Dead Island, but with a medieval theme. I'm guessing it's going to be more so on the Dying Light side of things in terms of, I don't know, Dead Island was very bright and, like, funny, try to be comedic, but since this is in a medieval theme, it's probably going to be a bit more serious. So we'll say that's got magic in it. I don't know. There's no real release date of when it's going to be coming out, but I imagine probably sometime near the end of 2016. Again, it is a co-op game. Up to 2 to 4 players can play at one time, just like in Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide. And that is pretty much it for my list. I would have definitely had more games, but surprisingly, compared to 2015, there just isn't that many games, which there is in the genre that I like, survival, blah, 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 which I could talk about today. There isn't too many small indie studios which are making these games. There isn't too many AAA studios which are making these games. They just aren't being made anywhere near as much as they could have been, I guess, a year ago when the whole Daisy hype and whatnot was going on about. But still, we'll get some cool games which we like coming up in the next year or so. Ignoring those titles, of course, we've got Star Wars Battlefront, like I said, Rainbow Six Siege, and also The Division, all in this year. So there's definitely going to be some games I am missing in this list, but either way, if you want to check out some more information about all the games I've talked about before, or in this video even, there'll be information in the description below. And if you've got any games which I might have missed in this list, then tell me in the comment section below, because I don't know, it's nice to share hype with other people and have something to look forward to in the magical gaming world. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and more good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.